All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. Man, interesting Friday on GTII to say the least, okay? A lot is going through my head with the 145 line, the 100 moving average. Man, this was a very interesting Friday to say the least, okay? We'll talk about the technical shortly, but real quick, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We're going to take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up short term. We have our five moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines, as well as some trend lines. I'm actually drawing on a couple stocks more lately. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like, subscribe, comment, share. Anything you can do to this video really does help with the YouTube algorithms. But hey, I really do appreciate your time. And yeah, if you disagree with anything I got to say, throw it in the comments, all right? I'm not here to like hate on your thoughts. And yeah, if you're right and I'm wrong, trust me, I'd rather you tell me than watch my money go down the toilet or whatever, right? So let's get into it. And again, look, I was very worried coming into this whole week, really, right? We start the week as we wanted. We actually open above all the lines. But again, we look at both good days and bad good days, right? Like there's a difference why these candles look different. And yeah, this one opens up here and then drops under, followed by just 3 horrible days of losing this cluster and really losing the 8 moving average, right? The cool thing is, again, this is why I love these moving averages, right? There really would have been no reason to believe this would have held if it wasn't for this blue line and then this line that I draw here, right? And really, you can see the wick doesn't quite touch it, but yeah, honestly, just the way I trade, I sincerely believe it was because of this blue 100 moving average line. Look, I looked for news before I made this video. I normally don't do that. There was no news. Like, I don't think I saw anything that justified saving its, like, because again, what did it do? We actually closed over the 8 moving average. All right. Obviously, we're still under 20. We're still under the cluster of these three right here. But I'm telling you, if we didn't go like I was literally saying on the last video 126 or that whatever is under it is where I was expecting it. So Friday's recovery really was huge. All right. I'm actually really looking at this volume a lot. Volume has really sucked the last few days. This was a nice little pop. Obviously, I need to be over the 50 average volume, right? Like breaking this white line definitely means a little bit more. But Friday was actually way better than most of these days. Really, this one right here was the only one, right? So in the last 7 days, this was the second best day and by a lot more than the other five, you know what I mean? So volume was nice. I don't really care too much about this RSI. Obviously, I love when it peaks up, but it's been pretty tight for a minute. So end of the day, I think it's really a lot of the same technical noise. I don't know what else to call it, right? But I really still, there's no new lines to make, right? Like we are in this channel right here, which is essentially the 100 on the blue line and now this purple 200, right? Like it just seems like we're going to bounce between these until we violently go up or we violently go down. Because again, I kind of mentioned it towards the end of the video, right? But we had all five right here and we go from the top to the bottom to the top to actually losing it back to like we are just going top to bottom as these five lines tighten up and again at some point it either violently goes up or violently goes down, right? So yeah, interesting movement. And look, me personally, look, this is a decent swing, right? Like every 14 cents is 10%. You're basically adding 40 cents right there, right? So there actually is a 20% swing, a little bit more in these channels. Personally, I'm a big fan of just like let me wait for a little bit safer trading. But I think if you watch my videos, you kind of tell I'm a little bit more on the conservative side. Because again, I have other agendas with my money, right? Like I'm not here averaging down, knock on wood, I'm not here putting in new money to my account. So there are things I do conservatively to just kind of facilitate the way I like to trade and live. You know what I mean? But yeah, this channel right here is a solid 20 burger. Every time it goes up, you unload it when it goes down. Every time it goes up, 20 burger, unload it when it goes down. Like that's definitely an easy way to play if that's your game, right? For me, that's not what I do. I really like, let's let the 8 go up, let's let the 20 go up, and let's just ride those two lines for hopefully days to weeks, right? So But yeah, I would wait for a couple other lines to break, right? Like 185, I think would be a considerable entry. If you do this 239, you're obviously on the better side of this. I think at this point, let me also kind of do this real quick. Let's change this line. Let's move this to down here. And then let me change the slope to this right here. This might be this new trend that we're on right now. And I think this might be a little bit better to follow. All right. So I think what this now does is put a lot more weight on this 185. I think breaking 185 could be a definite entry. And look, cannot lose this 145 because I'm not using this little insignificant one from the trend, right? I'm going from the bottom to like the bigger candle. That is what I do like to use, right? So we've fallen below it before. We're definitely kind of like getting stuck into this little wedge. And again, I know people use wedge patterns for their trading things. I don't know pattern stuff well, so I'm not going to talk about it. But yeah, clearly there's some tightening up happening. So breaking 185 would be really huge. I'm pretty sure I already have one, but just to be safe, I'll put a 186 alert on this video. Look, an alert is not an immediate buy notification, but yeah, 186 puts me over all 5 of the moving averages, right? And for me, there's no better place to have your money than the 5 moving average. You know what I mean? So there's no better place to have it than over all 5 moving averages. Excuse me about that. But yeah, look, RSI is not bad. MACD is getting close to the 0 line. Obviously, I need some volume, right? But breaking 185, I think, is the moral of this video right here. I don't think there's too much more. And really, don't lose 145, right? It's kind of the same things from last week, really. Interesting weekly candle here. Okay, so look, again, last week we take 4 moving averages. We actually hold 2 of the 4. Obviously, that's not great, but it's not bad in some ways. We do hold 50% candle. We actually hold, like I said, 2 of the 4. Obviously, I wanted to win the 8. I wanted to win the 50, but yeah, end of the day, I think it's still actually about these 2 horizontal lines right now. So this is in a really tight place. Again, for me, I would rather not put money here hoping to like make a little bit more. I would rather just wait, get that confirmation, and then just, start unloading the dump truck. So be safe out there. There's definitely something important that's going to be happening, right? Like we there's only so much room to keep going up and down before it either does something extreme, right? And I think we're getting close to that. So what did the weekly look like in terms of these now? Man, just super tight, super tight, super tight, right? Like it's all about the moving averages, and I think it's all about these 185, 145 numbers right now. So, and really for me, I think just to end it here, I know it sounds silly, right? But once 185 breaks, it really, really needs to run to 240 pretty quickly. Maybe this like 206 will be something, but like for real, I need to break this and quickly escape this to actually believe I'm out of the horizontal cluster. All right, so GTII, some interesting things happening here for sure. And again, Friday was huge. Friday gives me more of a belief that we'll break this, but again, it's going to be hard to break those 3 lines. All right, hey, have a great one out there. Let me know if you disagree. Otherwise, I appreciate your time.